Hello and welcome to another versus video between the Spyderco Delica 4 and the Byrd Meadowlark 2. Next week you will be getting a knife review, a proper review of a brand new knife that I've recently purchased. I'm not going to tell you what it is, I want it to be a surprise. The week after I'm going to start my knife steel kind of knowledge series where I talk about different knife steels, starting with one of the lowest but probably most widely used, which is the 8CR 13 MOV. Week after may well be an axe review, and then I'll try and fit in knife reviews versus videos and cheap versus pricey, cutting tests, things like that. I'll do those every week as much as I possibly can. I don't really think since I started that I've missed a week or two where I haven't put up any knife related content, and that's every single week since November time from 2012. So that's every single week. So yeah, I just thought I'd make that point, and also make the other point that yes, I've done that and still don't receive any freebies, no money. So this is obviously still my own investment and things, and just want to keep continuing to share it, and hopefully you gain some useful information from all of my knives and my collection. So let's get through to the verses. These are great little knives. First of all, I say little. I wouldn't really class them as medium. I'd class them as small knives. They're not overly small though, as you can see. They fit in a large hand, and they're kind of really your everyday carry knives for those countries that can carry these locking knives every day. Now we can in the UK if you, I don't know, say you're a fisherman and you need a knife that obviously locks, then and you're taking it to and from your work, obviously that's fine because you're using it for your work. But if you've just got this knife and it's a locking knife and you carry it every day here in the UK, and say you get stopped, yeah, you're not really allowed to do that. But America, and there are many other places in the world where you can carry lockable knives every day, you know, without a good reason or just to carry them. But that being said, I don't want to get too hung up on the knife laws and things like that, because I've got many other videos where people put comments on regarding those things. These are very good choices. You've got your cheaper one here, which is, it's a Byrd knife, so it's kind of made by Spyderco anyway. Byrd are like a subsidiary company of Spyderco anyway. They're kind of the cheaper one, made in China, but some Spydercos are made in China. It's your value folder really. It's got everything and more that other competitors would only dream to have. Like, it's got the pin construction, the nice FRN handle scales, it's a lockback, you can choke up on it, it's got jimping on the finger choil and the thumb ramp, it can be a one-handed opening, and four-way positional pocket clip, which is a good pocket clip as well, and the steel isn't too bad either. It's an excellent value knife. Then you've got higher up the scale, instead of a China made, you've got a Seki City Japan made VG10 steel, so you can get this sharper, and it'll last longer. The edge will last longer than the Byrd knife, but similar construction with the pins. But you've got a choice of many different colours, and you get the black pocket clip. With the Byrd, I think you can only choose black in FRN. They do stainless steel scales if that's your kind of thing. I think they're a bit more expensive though. So let's go on with the verses. I normally have like a step-by-step verses plan in front of me, whereby I firstly compare the handle scales. I think I've said with the Cara 2 the handle scales on the Byrd knives is quite aggressive, and the logo is bigger than on the Delica and the Endura. Therefore, that you're losing some grip there, you're losing some purchase. And I do prefer, even though it's not as aggressive, I do prefer the texture of the Spyderco compared to the Byrd, and the quality of the FRN. FRN might not be FRN in terms of different grades of quality, but the Spyderco one, you can definitely just feel that there's more quality there to the actual nylon. Deployment, very similar. I think I said in the Meadowlark 2, I will be drawing a lot of comparisons to that versus video a couple of weeks ago, but deployment wise, you can deploy it one-handed. You can't really, you could maybe flick it open with one hand, with your thumb, if you were to really lube up that joint, but the Delica is a lot more smoother, and it's a lot less wear on your thumb, it being a round hole. Round holes are usually better. So deployment wise, I would give it to, so scales and deployment wise, I'd give it to the Spyderco. The lock, there isn't really much in it here. They both give a very resounding click. I don't know why, but I just feel that the Byrd is more of a solid lock than the Delica, but that might be something to do with the fact that the Delica is thinner knife overall, so that might be, there might be something in it there, but both of the locks are very good. Really like the lockback. The Meadowlark, it's sharper. Don't know if you can see that, but there it's sharper on that lock, so that might wear your thumb or fingers away. Whereas on the Delica, it's a lot smoother. Sorry, there's a plane going over at the moment. I do apologise. Pocket clip wise, they look exactly the same. I actually prefer the stainless steel pocket clip just because this paint has been known to chip off and peel off, but pretty much the same in terms of where you can position it, so give it to both of the knives for that. Ergonomics, I really do like the Delica, and for me it's more comfortable than the larger brother, the Endura, but that's just for me. I mean, people might have a reverse opinion on that, depending on their hand shape and size. But I have to say that the Meadowlark 2 just goes that one step further in ergonomics, because you can choke up. I feel that a normal grip, there is a lot going on, and your fingers do feel quite bunched to get up to that recess. But in the choke up position, it's much more. You can do much more fine work with the knife. It's very, very ergonomic, and hopefully their next Delica will give you an option, because obviously there it's a bit of wasted space. You can choke up, but that is at your risk. So ergonomics, I would give it to the Meadowlark. Blade shape. I mean, I'd have to give that as a draw. The Delica seem to be almost exactly the same length, and bit more of the same shape. There's slight more belly on the Meadowlark 2 than the Delica, but shape wise they're very similar. The Delica has the same thing as the Endura, where it kind of stops about there and then points inwards a bit more, whereas the belly swoops all the way, whereas the Meadowlark 2 doesn't have that extra bit that points inwards. It's a very, very minute detail, but I'd have to give it to both of them for blade shape. Steel, of course, that would have to go to the Delica. The VG10 is just an incredible steel, very rust resistant, corrosion resistant, holds its edge for quite a while, and it's super easy to sharpen. I mean, there's not many steels out there that you can get really, really sharp, and it's so easy to sharpen. There's not that many. And the 8CR 13 MOV is tried and tested. It's proven, yes, it is a bit more prone to rust and things, but it's a good workhorse steel. But if you're using knives every day, you may want to invest in a sharpening system to sharpen it, once or twice a week. because that will wear down more than the VG10. Weight wise, I believe that the Delica is lighter, but they're really holding them both. You wouldn't think it. They're such lightweight, medium-sized knives anyway, that it's negligible which one you were to carry. The Meadowlark 2 feels bigger and beefier in your pocket, but again, that's due to the thickness of the scales rather than the actual components used. Price wise, I think the Delica, I'm going to do it for the UK market. I know that's biased, but I'll do it for the UK market. The Delica will set you back about, I think, £60, £50 or £60, which is quite expensive for a knife. But if this is your only knife that you're going to get around the house, and you don't want a huge monstrous knife, you just want something that locks, that's safe to use, that you could use for food prep, comes in fancy colours, then this might be 60 quid. I've had this knife for 2 years now, no rust issues, easy to sharpen. I use it a lot of the time, and this might be the one for you. So 60 quid is a good investment, whereas this one is about 20 something pounds. It's good value for money, don't get me wrong, but and it will last a while, but then there's the added time that you'll need to spend sharpening it. Depends on your usage obviously, but every month or every couple of months you might need to sharpen this if you use it a lot. So there is that about the price, which is worth more. Personally, I do think that if you're on a very strict budget, you can only get one knife, and you only want it for odd jobs. The Byrd, the Meadowlark 2 will do you well. If you want a bit more of a showy knife, where you're going to be using more and you don't want to have to sharpen as much, then yeah, go for the Delica, because the added extra in price does reflect that, but it's still very good value for money. Finally, aesthetics. That's obviously a matter of opinion and choice, but I like the Meadowlark 2 in its simplicity, and the like Spidey hole, or the deployment hole, but at the same time I do like the smoothness and the colours, and just how simple this knife is as well. So I would give it to the Delica, really, just for it's a knife, but it's a knife for the modern world, and it's a testament that Sal and his team haven't really changed it that much since like the 1980s. It's an excellent knife. So who wins, you decide. I think they're both excellent knives. A couple of the best knives in their category for medium-sized locking knives. Sure, you can get more expensive knives with much better steel, but if you want a workhorse knife that you don't mind losing or abusing, and you're not too worried that it'll break or snap, and that you're not too worried that you can always buy another one, they're very available. These are a couple of the best. Hope you've enjoyed this Versus video. Like I said, you will be getting a brand new knife review, a knife that I don't currently own. It is on its way to me, so you will be getting a knife review video, a proper knife review video, next week. And then, like I say, I'll either start my knife series, or it might be another axe review or something like that the week after. Anyway, hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and take care.